So welcome back students to another class of advanced survey where we are studying regarding compound curves. So we have studied 4 cases and the last case we are left out with. So we will finish this case today. So these are the given things, the given elements of a compound curve. So you can see they have given us the tangent length of the shorter curve, tangent length of the longer curve, as well as the radius of the longer curve. Okay. So these three are unknown: delta 1, delta 2 and RS. So we have to calculate these three. So we have to refer figure number 3. So let us move on to figure number 3. Okay. So you are able to see figure number 3 on your screen. So this is figure number 3 which we have referred for your third case. Right, for the third case we have drawn this figure. So same figure we will be referring for this particular case also. So from the third case, we have derived a few things. From the third case, we had derived a few things. The same things we will be using over here. So B dash D dash we will be taking from the third case. This result we have with ourselves. Along with this, we have BP with us, which is equal to R tan delta by 2 minus TL sine delta. Okay, so remember we have two of this, and also we will be considering this from the case 3, that is B dash P. Okay, so these 3 cases we have got from your case 3. Okay, so the same things we will consider also in your case 5. Okay, so now in this particular fifth case, what we have to consider: O1S. Okay, consider O1S. This particular line we have to check. O1S is equal to what? This particular line is also equal to T1Q, right? It is also equal to T1Q. Same, because it is having the same length, right? Now, how can we calculate this T1Q? To calculate this T1Q, this particular distance, to calculate this distance, what we will do, we will consider the whole length BQ. We will consider the whole length BQ. We will consider this whole length BQ minus this T1 minus this. We will be left out with T1Q. Correct? We will be left out with T1Q. The whole length BQ minus BT1. Okay. Now further what we can do is, instead of this BQ, instead of this particular BQ, what we will consider is, we will consider D dash, right? D dash P we will consider, because this line is perpendicular to this this particular tangent. Okay, so the length BQ is equal to D dash P. The length is equal to B dash P. Now this whole length we can divide it into 2 parts. We can divide it into 2 parts, that is B dash D dash plus BP. Okay, this whole length D to P. Okay, the whole length D dash to P. Okay, sorry, D dash to P, we can consider it as D dash B dash plus BP. Plus B dash P. So this we can divide it into 2 parts. Now we know this particular B dash D dash already. We know we have a formula with us, right? B dash D dash we have. Also we have a formula for us with for this particular B dash P also we have. So if you add these two, which already we know, we can easily calculate D dash P, which is right, which is nothing but equal to what we have, D dash B dash plus B dash P. Okay, so this total length we know now it is D dash B dash plus B dash P, total length. Okay, total length we have, that is nothing but what, B to Q, correct? B to Q. Now we were requiring, we had to calculate T dash Q, right? T1Q we had to find out T1Q, we had to find out T1Q. So this whole length, right, this whole length minus what, minus B T1, correct? This whole length which we have here, this whole length minus this BT1, right? We will be left out with what? We will be left out with T1Q, which is required, T1Q which is required. So we have calculated T1Q, which is nothing but O1S. T1Q, right? This is nothing but this O1S. So we had to find out O1S. Hence we have done what? We have done all these steps to calculate O1S. Okay, O1S. Now we know O1S we have calculated. Now after this is done, now what you have to do? Now we have to draw this particular diagram, this extra line we have to draw. Let me show you. After you do this calculation, next what you have to do is, you have to draw this particular dotted line from D to T1. Okay, D to T1, you have to draw a straight line. D to T1, draw a straight line, extend this particular line. Okay, it will come and meet at this particular D dash. It will come and meet at D dash. So this particular line we have drawn over here. Okay, so this triangle which you can see T1 D dash Q, T1 D dash Q, the triangle which you can see here, I have drawn an enlarged view for you so that you can clearly observe this. Okay, so this particular triangle I have drawn an enlarged view over here. So this angle over here, as I've told you, whatever is the angle over here, delta 1 is the angle over here, half of it will be over here. Okay, so delta 1 by 2 is the angle over here. This angle is delta 1 by 2. Okay, so from this particular triangle, we have to take out what? Tan delta 1 by 2. Tan delta 1 by 2, if you take out, it will be equal to BP divided by O1S. BP divided by O1S. Now tan is what? Opposite upon base. Opposite is D dash Q. Opposite is D dash Q by base T1 Q. Right? Hence we had calculated this T1 Q. Previously we had calculated T1 Q, right? The whole thing we had derived one big formula. So that because of that we have because we require it over here, O1S, right? O1S is nothing but T1 Q. Right? Because of that we had derived it in the previous step. Now what is D dash Q? What is D dash Q? D dash Q is nothing but this BP. Okay, and T1Q is nothing but O1S. Okay, so BP divided by O1S. We have O1S with us. We also have the value of BP with us. And BP value we have. O1S also we have calculated. So we can easily calculate what? We can calculate delta 1. Okay, so delta 1 which was required, we have calculated. The first thing which we required, we have calculated now. Delta 2 is also required. Delta 2 is required. How can we calculate delta 2 now? Can you tell me how can we calculate delta 2? If you know the total subtended angle delta which is given to us. Can you calculate delta 2 now from these two? It is very easy, right? Delta, the whole thing minus delta 1. Correct? Delta, the whole thing minus delta 1 will give you delta 2. Right? We know this property that delta 1 plus delta 2 is equal to the total subtended angle delta. Right? We know that particular property. So we can easily calculate delta 2. Now the last thing that we require is now what? We require RS. RS is required. So now we will check how to calculate this RS. Now to calculate this RS, you have to use this smaller triangle O1, O2, yes. Okay, you have to look into the smaller triangle O1, O2S. O1, O2S is where it is here. You can see O1, O2S triangle is here. So from this particular triangle, as I've told you, you have to remember the steps. You have to take out sine delta 1, right? It is delta 1 over here. You can see O1, O2S has delta 1. So I have written delta 1. Sine delta 1 is what? Sine is what? Opposite upon hypotenuse. Opposite side is what? O1S. O1S, which we know the value of O1S is already known, divided by O1, O2. Right, this is the hypotenuse length O1, O2, this length O1, O2. So what is O1, O2? O1, O2 is nothing but the whole length which is RL, radius of the longer curve, right? RL minus radius of the shorter curve, sorry, RS. So RL minus RS will give you this particular O1, O2, O1, O2. So I will write directly RL minus RS. Okay, here we can see that delta 1 is known already, we have calculated previously. O1S value is also known, we have calculated. RS value is already given to us. Only unknown here is RL. RL is the only unknown here. So we can easily calculate RL from this particular equation. So hence we have calculated all the required things, that is RL, delta 1 and all delta 2. So these three elements we had to calculate. Now we have learned how to calculate. We have the formulas with us. You can see in the last case I have written down over here. We have calculated all the required things, right? For delta 1, you have to use this particular formula for delta 1. Right? You can see I have written delta 1. Delta 2 calculation, you can use this particular formula, and for RS, we can use this formula. Okay, from sine theta, we have got this particular RS. So you can see all of these we have computed delta 1, delta 2 and RS. So we have finished with all the case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4 and case 5. So we have studied all the cases. So if you have any doubts in any of the case, you can let me know, or else we will move on to the next topic, that is what setting out of a compound curve. How do you set out a compound curve in a field? So you have to study that particular thing. So if you have any doubt, let me know, or else we will get into the next topic. Okay, so we will move on to the next topic. Let me share the screen for the next topic. Okay, so I hope you are able to see the screen. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this method which you see on your screen, okay, you have already learned this particular method. You have learned this method. This is nothing but Rankine's method, okay? Rankine's method wherein we use deflection angles. Okay, Rankine's method wherein we use deflection angles, right? Delta 1, delta 2, delta 3, we calculate and we use these deltas and we calculate these deltas and we set out a curve using this particular Rankine's method. You have already learned this. Okay, so this Rankine's method also we will be using to set out your compound curve. Okay, Rankine's method we will be using to calculate your, we will be using this Rankine method to set out your compound curve. Okay, you can see I have shown you an image of a compound curve on your screen. You can see we have a compound curve. Okay, so compound curve, as you have studied, usually what they give you any four, right? Any four of the elements they will give you, right? RS, RL, you have many elements with you, RS, RL, delta 1, delta 2, then you have TS, TL, right? And you have delta. So out of these, any four will be given to you, any four will be given, and the remaining three you can calculate. We have learnt 5 cases, right? You can apply among those 5 cases, whichever is applicable here, depending upon the given variables, you can calculate the remaining 3. Okay, so that is the first step, calculation of all the elements. Okay, once you know that, what you have to do, TS and TL is known to us, right? Once you know this particular length of your tangent, right, you can see here TS is here, TL is here. Once you know this length, you can set out T1 and you can set out T2, right? You will be knowing the deflection angle, right? You will be knowing a deflection angle. You can set your theodolite over here and you can set this particular T1 based on this TS length and you can set T2 based on your TL length. Okay, so tangent point T1 and tangent point T2 are set out. So this is your second step, setting out what? T1 and T2. T1 and T2, setting out your T1 and T2 is the second step. Now, in the next step, what you have to do is you have to calculate the length of the curve. Length of the curve. This is the length of your curve LS. Okay, length of the shorter curve. So I will write it LS, and this is the length of your longer curve. Hence, I will write it as LR. Sorry, LEL. I will write capital L. Longer curve. This is shorter curve. Length we can calculate. We know the formula also. We can calculate easily. Now, after that, what you have to do in the third step, right? Third step, what you have to do, LS and calculate L. After you calculate this, then calculate the chainage of T1, calculate the chainage of T1, calculate the chainage of D, which is over here, this particular chainage and this particular T2 chainage, right? You will be knowing the chainages of B, you will be knowing the chainage of B. You can calculate T1 chainage, right? If you minus TS from the chainage point of PI, you will get the chainage T1, right? And if you add LS, if you add length of the curve, you will arrive at the chainage of D, correct? And if you add LL, you will arrive at the chainage of T2. Okay, so after this, what you have to do, you have to calculate the chainages of T1, calculate the chainage of D, and calculate the chainage of T2. Okay, chainages, we are dealing with chainages. Okay, so after this is done, in the fourth step, what you have to do, fourth step, Now by Rankine's method I've shown you in the previous slide. Rankine's method, what all is required in Rankine's method, you can calculate, right? All the delta values, right? All the deflection values, delta 1, delta 2, and so on. You can calculate all the required deltas. And what you have to do now, you have to set your theodolite at where you have to set your theodolite at T1. Okay, set your theodolite at T1. Where is T1? Tangent point 1. Okay, set your theodolite over here. Make the necessary arrangements. Set your theodolite at this particular point. Now, using your Rankine's method, you can set this curve. This curve you can set up to D. Up to D, you can set your first curve. Okay, using Rankine's deflection method, you can set up to D. Now, once that is done, shift your theodolite from this point to D. Okay, shift your theodolite from here, shift it to D. Okay, once you shift it to D, what you have to do in the fifth step. Fifth step, after you set your curve LS, after you set it, shift your set theodolite to D point. Then you have to set a particular angle in your scale, in your vernier scale, right? In your horizontal scale, right? In your A scale, what you have to set? You have to set a particular angle. That particular angle is 360 degrees minus delta 1 by 2. This particular angle you have to set in your in your vernier scale A. You have to set this angle, right? And then what you have to do, take backside. Okay, take backside on T1. Take backside on T1. Once you set this, you have to clamp, right? You have to clamp your upper screw so that this particular angle does not change. Then once you clamp your upper screw, loosen your lower screw, loosen the lower screw so that the angle does not change, but the direction you can change of your theodolite. So you have to take backside on T1. Where is T1? Here. You have to set your theodolite A and take a backside like this on what? On T1. Take a backside on T1. Right? You can observe through the telescope and bisect T1. Right? And once you bisect, it has to show what angle? It's 360 minus delta by 2. This angle which you have set has to be there. Next, after this, what you have to do in the sixth step, after this, what you have to do, you have to transit. I hope you know what is meant by a transiting of a telescope. Transiting of telescope, that is nothing but rotating the telescope by 180 degrees. Right, 180 degrees, rotating the telescope by 180 degrees. Okay, so once you have set it, rotating by 180 means you will be looking through the telescope in this direction. You will be looking through the telescope in this direction. We have rotated the telescope by 180 degrees. Right, so we have transited or we have rotated the telescope by 180 degrees. Next, after you have done that, what you have to do, you have to clamp your lower screw, right? Clamp your lower screw, lose your upper screw, okay? Lose the upper screw and you have to swing your telescope by this angle. You have to swing the telescope by this angle so that it is in line with this. It is in line with this. So what is this angle now? What is this angle? This angle is nothing but delta by 2. Delta by 2. Okay. So you have to swing the telescope by this particular angle, delta by 2. And after you do that, your telescope will be, or your theodolite will be in this particular line. Your telescope will be in this particular line. Okay. So what we have done, we have set our theodolite at a particular point D, and then we have properly aligned our line of sight in this particular direction D2. Okay. D2, we have aligned our telescope properly, or the line of sight we have aligned. So after you do this, then the last step is using Rankine's method. Again, you have to use a Rankine's method and set your curve LL. Okay, set your curve until you reach your point T2. Okay, LL you can set small curve using Rankine's method and you can arrive at point T2. And with this, you have successfully what? Set out your compound curve. Okay, so I hope you have understood all the steps which I have explained. If any doubt you have in any of the steps, please let me know. Okay, so this is how you set out your curve or a compound curve in your field. Okay, so there is one check which you can apply after you are done with all the things. After you're done with all the things, you can apply one check. So what is that check? Let me show you. So check is equals to angle. What angle? T1 D T2, angle T1 D T2. Where is this angle T1 D T2? T1 is here, D is here, T2 is here. Okay, your theodolite is at this particular point, right? Theodolite is at this particular point. You can take a sight on T1 and you can measure the angle, right? You can measure this particular angle, right? You can measure this angle. This angle you can measure a theodolite because it is set at D, right? So this particular angle should be equal to this particular angle, which you calculate should be equal to 180 degrees minus delta by 2. Okay, so you can make a check after you have set out your curve, okay, and check whether you have any discrepancy in your setting out. Okay, it should not be a large value. A very small value is acceptable, but make sure you check after you set out your curve. So this will be done in your practical lab. You will be learning how to set out a compound curve, a simple circular curve. All these things you will learn in your lab. Okay, so I hope you have understood how you set out a compound curve. If any doubt you have, you can let me know. If any steps you did not understand, you can let me know. I will explain again. Okay. If not, then we can move on to a few numericals. We will solve 3 numericals today, and so that you have a better understanding regarding compound curves. Shall we move on to numericals? Can anyone let me know? Shall we move on to numericals? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Which part should I explain again? Setting out, you want me to explain again? Setting out of a curve, you want me to explain? Okay.
No, sir, the delta by 2, sir.
Which delta by 2? This delta by 2. This last check you want me to explain? Last check you want me to explain, or which step?
Sir, explain full, sir.
I'll explain. Let me check how many of you have understood. Okay, so those who want me to explain the setting out of your curve, you can raise your hand, please. Those who want me to explain again, you can raise your hand. I'll explain, no problem. Okay. Okay, you can lower your hand. I will explain once more. See. Okay, remember the steps. Okay, remember the steps. First step. First step is what? As I've told you, we have with us these elements of curve TS, TL. You can see on the image TS, TL, RS, RL. Then you have delta 1, delta 2, and the last thing is delta. So all these things are what? Elements of your compound curve. They are called as elements of compound curve. So usually they will give you any 4 among these. Any 4 of these will be given. Rest of the 3 you can calculate easily. Right? We have learned 5 cases, and you can apply those cases depending upon which variables are given to you. Okay, you can calculate all these particular elements. So first step is calculation of all these elements. Okay, once you calculate all these elements, next thing what you have to do is you know this particular length TS and TL. Now once you have calculated this TS, TL, RS, all these things, you know this particular point B. Okay, this point B will be known to us. Okay, this point B will be known to us. You know this particular second step. In second step, you know this TS and TL, right? This length TS and TL will be known. So from here, if you can set out this T1, right? You can set out this T1 and you can set out T2. This point you can set out. You can set a theodolite over here. This delta value will be known to us, right? This is delta. This delta value will be known to us. Okay, you can set out this T1 and T2. Point T1, T2 you can set, and you can measure. You know this length, right? You also know this length. So you can easily set out T1 and T2. So first step, second step is what? Setting out of T1 and T2. So this is our second step. Now coming to third step. You have to calculate length LS and LL. What is LS? LS is length of the shorter curve. LL is length of the longer curve. So you can calculate. We have formulas with us. We can calculate easily. No problem. Once you do that, the next in this step itself, what you have to do next is, you know the chainage of this point. You know the chainage of this point. You can add ls to this. If you add ls to this point, you will reach where d, right? You will reach the chainage point d. So if you add to this chainage point d, if you add ll, you will know the chainage point of t2. So the third step is, the second part of this step is what? Calculating the changes of t1, d, and t2. Okay, so you have to note down the changes of these particular points. Okay, once this is done, next fourth step. Now, in the fourth step, as I've told you, we have to apply Rankine's method. Rankine's method of deflection angles. Rankine's method of deflection angles. And by this method, you can set your first curve. You set your theodolite at this particular point T1. Set your theodolite at T1, right? And you can set your particular LS curve. Okay, LS curve or the shorter curve you can set by using Rankine's deflection angle method. Up to D, right? Up to D you can set. Then once that is done, you have to move your theodolite, or you can change the location of your theodolite from T1 to D. Okay, set your theodolite at point D. Okay. So now we have to do some arrangement so that our line of sight is in this direction, right? So that we can set our second curve. You have to make sure that a line of sight is in this direction. Okay, it is from D to D2. Your line of sight is in set. It is in set in this direction. So to set in this direction, we have to make some particular steps. We have to follow some particular steps. Then once you shift, what you have to do, once you shift and you set your theodolite over here, you have to set in the horizontal scale, that is in scale A, you have to set a particular angle. You have to set a particular angle of 360 degrees minus delta 1 by 2. Set this particular angle first, and then take backside on T1, take backside on T1. Okay, this angle should not change when you are taking backside. Okay, your upper clamp should be tight. Okay, it should be tight. Only your lower, you have to lose your lower clamp, and you have to take a backside on T1. Okay, so let me show that particular line. Okay, so always your line of sight will be straight, right? So you will be taking a line of sight, or you will be taking a backside from D to T1. You will be taking a backside from D to T1. Okay, now what you have to do is, next what you have to do, you have to transit your telescope. Transit your telescope. Transit meaning rotate by 180 degrees, rotated by 180 degrees. So you rotate your telescope by 180 degrees like this, you rotate. So your line of sight will be in the opposite direction. So this will be your line of sight now, in this direction. Now we want to align our telescope in this particular direction, right? In the direction of D2, we have to align. So you have to add some angle, right? We have to add this particular angle. So what is this angle equal to? This angle is equal to delta by 2. Okay, delta by 2. So you have to swing your telescope by an angle delta by 2. And after you do that, right, you will be, your line of sight will be aligned in this particular direction, that is in direction D2. Okay, and to swing, right, when you are swinging this, okay, make sure your lower clamp is tight. Okay, lower clamp is tight, and only your upper clamp is loose. Okay, upper clamp is loose, so that your angle is set. Okay, so now once you do that, your line of sight is oriented properly in the direction of, line of sight is oriented in the direction of D2. Okay, this is what we want, because Rankine's method, you have to set your theodolite, right? You have to set your line of sight in your tangent direction, right? Once first, when you set it at T1, your first sight will be this, right? Your first sight will be in the line of, in the direction of your tangent. So once you set that, then from this particular tangent, you draw your, you draw your deflection angles, right? You draw deflection angles. Because of that, you have to first orient your line of sight in this particular tangent direction, that is D2. Okay, so because of that, we are doing this particular steps. Okay. Once this is done, you can easily now use Rankine's method, and you can set this particular curve, longer curve VLL, and you can arrive at this point T2. Okay, once you arrive at point T2, you can do one check. Okay, so is this steps clear? Can I erase this particular steps which I've written? I'll circulate notes. Okay, I'll circulate notes. Don't worry. Do not write this down. I will give you proper notes later on. Okay, so once this is done, one check I have told you. Once your theodolite is still at D, right? Your theodolite is at D. You can take a sight on P1 and you can measure the angle. This particular angle you can measure. Okay, angle T1D, T1D, T2, T1D, T2. This angle should be equal to what? It should be equal to 180 degrees, 180 minus delta by 2. On paper, it should be equal to this. And once you measure through the theodolite, it has to be the same. Whatever angle you get over here, your measurement in the theodolite also has to be same, right? So this is the check which you can perform after you set out your compound curve. So I hope this particular explanation is clear. Is it clear, guys? Any step you did not understand, let me know. The confusing step, I think it is that setting of your line of sight in this direction. It is a bit confusing. If you read it 2-3 times, it will be clear for you. Okay, your line of sight has to be in this direction. Okay, so to set your line of sight in this direction, you have to do that 2 to 3 steps you have to do, and you have to arrive at this particular line of sight. Okay, and then you can use Rankine's method and you can set out your curve using deflection angles. Okay, so after you have set, you can perform a check by this formula. So this is how you can set a compound curve. So now is it clear? If you have not understood any step, let me know. I hope it is clear. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Clear, sir.
Okay. So moving on to a few numericals which we will be solving now. We will solve 2 to 3 numericals based on time. Let us see. I have planned to solve 3. We'll try to solve 3. Okay. In this example number 2.1, is the problem statement visible to you? Are you able to read the statement clearly? Is it visible or is it very small?
Visible.
Visible, no? Okay. So here we have two straights AB and BC, AB and BC. So you can see AB here, you can see AB is here, AB and BC, that is what is called a straight. That is what is tangent. AB and BC. We have two straights, AB and BC. Okay, are intersected by a line D1, D2. These two straight lines are intersected by a line D1, D2. You can see they are intersected by a line D1, D2. Okay, D1, D2 is here, D1 is here, D2 is here. So they are intersected by a line D1, D2. Okay, the angles B D1, D2 and B D2, D1 are given. What are those? These angles are given, delta 1 and delta 2. Okay, delta 1 and delta 2 are given to us. Okay, let us write down delta 1 is equal to what? Delta 1 is equal to 40 degrees, 30 minutes, 40 degree, 30 minutes, and delta 2 is equal to what? 36 degrees, 24 minutes. Okay, good. Now, radius of the first arc is 600 meters. Radius of the first arc meaning this particular curve is your first arc, and this is the radius of that first arc, meaning it is RS. RS is given to us, it is nothing but 600 meters. You can imagine what is the radius of this particular radius of this particular curve. 600 meters, it is a very large value, right? Or you can check the radius of the second arc, it is 800, it is even larger compared to the shorter curve. Radius of the second curve is 800 meters, very large, almost equal to a kilometer. If the chainage of the intersection point is 8,248 meters, that is the chainage of this particular point B or point PI, right? Point of intersection. The chainage of this particular point is given as 8,248. So let me write that down over here. Let me clear all these things. Okay. So let me write the chainage over here. We will write the chainage over here, 8248.1 is the chainage of this point B. This point B I have marked over here. in meters. Okay, find the changes of tangent points and the point of compound curve. Okay, we have to find the changes of this point, tangent point T1, T2, and we have to find the change point of change of this particular point D. Okay, which is the point of common curvature or point of compound curvature. Okay, PCC. We have to find these three changes. Okay, so this is what is given in the problem statement. Now, how can we go forward about calculating this? First, when you observe these two, the first thing what you have to calculate always is delta. Delta is what? Delta is what? Delta 1 plus delta 2. Can you tell me the value? Can you tell me, anyone calculate and tell me the value of this delta, delta 1 plus delta 2? We have summation of these two.
76 degree 54.
76 degrees. Make sure you're telling me correct,
minutes.
okay? Or else our full problem will go wrong. 76 degrees. 54, correct? 54 minutes. Okay, so we have calculated delta. So after this, what we will calculate? We will calculate this TS, which you can see over here, TS and TL, TS and TL. So what is the formula for TS? If you recall, it is nothing but R tan delta by 2, R tan delta by 2. Okay, so we are dealing with the short curve, so we will use RS. Okay, we will use RS and delta 1, which is over here. Okay, because we are dealing with the short curve. So we will take the radius and the angle of the short curve. So what is RS? It is 600 into tan delta 1. What is delta 1 value? We have it here, 40 degree 30 minutes divided by 2. Okay, so this is for tan. Okay, okay. Now can you calculate and tell me what is the value of TS?
221.35.
221.35 meters. Similarly, we can calculate TL. TL. What is the value of TL now? It will be equal to what? RL tan delta 2 by 2. Correct. We know what is the value of RL. We also know delta 2. You can simply substitute in your calculator. Let me know the value. What is the value? Something 200.
263.02.
Okay, we'll consider as 263 meters. Okay, so we have TS, we have TL. Now, we found out this particular distance, right? We have with us this distance. We also have with us this distance. Now, we require what? We require this distance, right? We require this particular distance, right? So, how do you calculate this distance, right? We have derived this particular distance formula also, if you recall. Okay, so that particular distance B D1, BD1 is equals to BD1 is equals to D1 D2 D1 D2 sine. If you recall, I have told you, if you want to find out the length of this curve, sorry, the length of this tangent, right, D1 B, you have to consider this opposite delta. So sine delta 2 divided by sine delta. This is the formula which you have to use. So you can substitute now. What is D1, D2? What is D1, D2? It is known to us. It is indirectly given, right? So D1, D2 is where, let me clear this. So what is D1, D2? It is this distance from here to here. D1, D2 is this distance. So the property of a tangent, we know if this is TS, this will be also TS, right? This distance will also be TS. And this distance from here to here will be TL. Okay, so what is D1, D2? It is nothing but TS plus TL. TS plus TL into sine delta 2 by delta 1, the same thing. Now can you substitute all these values, right? We have TS with us. We also have TL value with us, right? And delta 2 also is known. Delta is also known. You can substitute all these values in a calculator and tell me the answer. What is BD1? What is the value of BD1?
484.35.
I think you have substituted something wrong. It is around 295. 295.1 meters. Check. Okay, what I'll do, I'll substitute it for you. Let me just clear. B, what we were calculating, BD1. Okay, TS plus TL. What is TS? TS value was 221.4 plus TL, that is 263.
295.10.
Correct. 291 is the correct answer. Into sine delta 2. Sine delta 2. What is the value of delta? Delta 2 is 36 degrees. Correct. 36 degrees, 24 minutes. Divided by sine delta. What is the total angle which you have told me? 72 degrees something. 76 degrees, 54 minutes. So if you substitute these values in a calculator, you will get the value of BD1 as 295.1, correct? 295.1 meters. So we have calculated TS. We have also calculated this distance. So we can now, from this chainage, we know the value of this chainage, right? What was it? It is 8,248.1 meters. Okay, so this chainage is known. So if you just minus from this chainage, if you minus the value of this particular distance, you will get the chainage of T1, right? You will get the chainage of T1. So what is the chainage of a point B? It is 8,248.1 is the chainage of point B. Now, if you minus from this, if you minus BD1 minus 295.1, okay, and minus we have deducted this particular distance. Now we will deduct TS. What is the value of TS? TS was I think it was 221.4. right? So what is this? This is BD1, and what is this? This is TS. This is the chainage of B. Okay, this is the chainage of B. What is the chainage of now T1? If you minus, you will get the chainage of T1. You will get the chainage of T1. What is the chainage of T1? Can you let me know? Calculate and let me know what is the chainage of T1.
7,731.
7,731. Okay, so in meters. So
0.5.
0.5. This is the chainage of what? T1. This is the chainage of T1. So I'll write down 7,731.5 is the chainage of this point. Now to calculate the chainage of this point, we have to add what? We have to add the length of your short curve, right? Add the length of short curve. So what you have to do? First, you have to calculate length of short curve. Similarly, you have to calculate the length of long curve. Length of long curve, L. And then to this particular chainage, if you add length of long curve, you will get the chainage of T2. Okay, so I hope the steps are clear. So that is what is written here. You can see whatever we have done is the same thing written in your textbook. You can see 221.4 is TS, TL is 263, which you have calculated. Then 295.1 is the distance of BD1, right? BD1, which you have calculated 295.1. Length of the arc, here this LS. How do you calculate length of an arc? Length of an arc, you know the formula, it is R into delta. Now to convert this delta to degrees, what you have to do? You multiply this by pi by 180. Now you can substitute what, if you want it to calculate for short, you can take this as RS and take this as delta 1. Okay, similarly, if you want to calculate for the longer curve LL, take this as RL and take this as delta 2. Okay, and 180 by pi will be same. So you can calculate LS and LL. That distance is 424.1 meters and length of the longer curve is 508.2 meters. 508.2 meters. So we have calculated length of the arc, first arc, and length of the second arc. Okay, so this is the formula which you can use. You can substitute and you can calculate. Now, after this is done, right, as I've told you, we can calculate the chainage, right? As you have told me, the chainage of T1 is 7,731. So this is correct what you have told. Then add the length of first curve, right? Add the length of first curve, we will get the chainage of point D. At the chainage of point D, we have added the length of first curve, that is 424. you will get the chainage that is 8155. So this chainage is 8155. So to this chainage, if you add the length of the longer curve, right, the length of the longer curve is what? 508 meters. 508. So if you add, you will get, see, they have added, we have got the chainage of point T2, that is nothing but 8663 meters. All of these are in meters. So this is how you can calculate the chainage of point T1, chainage of point PCC, that is chainage of point of compound curve, and chainage of point T2. Okay, so I hope you have understood. If you have not understood any step, let me know. So this is a very easy numerical compared to the next numericals which we are going to solve. Is it clear? Have you understood this particular steps, all these steps of calculating the chainages of point T1, point T2, and also the point of common curvature? Okay, so those who have understood can raise your hand and let me know that you have understood. Those who have understood can raise your hand so that I get an idea of who all following, who all are active. Those who have understood, please raise your hand. Those who have understood, those who are active and those who are listening can raise your hand. I see many of you are inactive. Okay. Thank you. You can lower your hand. And as I say, if you don't understand any of the steps, please feel free to interrupt and let me know. Okay, so this is your first numerical. Now we will head on to a second numerical. We will read the problem statement and we'll try to understand what is given and what is required for us to calculate. Okay, in the example number 2.2, the following data refer to a compound curve which bears to the right. Okay, which bears to the right. You can see that the compound curve is tending to turn towards your right. Yes, someone was speaking. Any doubt? Nothing, no doubt. Okay. So here we can see we have a compound curve. Okay, the total deflection angle is 93 degrees. Total deflection angle is 93 degrees. Okay. Degree of the first curve is given as 4 degrees. Degree of the second curve is given as 5 degrees. Okay, so we will be requiring this. So degree we represent in D, capital D. Okay. Point of intersection at this particular chainage. So the point of intersection has a chainage at this particular point, has the chainage of 45 plus 61. Okay, and each chain is 20 meter in length. Each chain is 20 meter in length. Okay, so the chainage they have given in chains, the chainage of this point they have given as 45 plus 61. Okay, we will look into that later. Determine in 20 meter units. Okay, determine in 20 meter, that is each chain is 20 meter in length. The running distance of the tangent point and the point of compound curve. Okay, we have to determine the tangent point, the chainage of this point T1 and the chainage of this point compound curve D, and also for the point of this particular point T2. Okay, given that the latter point is 624 from the point of intersection. So what is meant by the latter point? Latter point meaning the second point. And the point of compound curve. Okay, point of compound curve, they have told that is this point. This point is located at a distance of 624, 6 plus 24 from the point of intersection. So this is your point of intersection PI, or what we call as B. So this particular line which I have drawn in blue, this distance they have given as 6 plus 24. Okay, 6 plus 24 in chains they have given in chains. Okay, so this distance they have given to us, that is 6 plus 24. Okay, and angle, okay, and at back angle of 290 degrees 36 from the first tangent. Okay, now this particular angle also they have given, that is the angle 290.36. It is what? Angle T1BD. This is the external angle. This is the angle which they have given. Okay, this is the external angle which they have given. It is 290 degrees. 290 degrees 36 minutes. This is the external angle which they have given. Okay, from the point of intersection at a back angle, from the point of intersection at a back angle from the first tangent. Okay, so this line, what they are telling in this particular statement is that this particular line is located at an angle of 290 degrees. Okay, at point of intersection measured from the back tangent, measured from the first tangent, or measured from this particular tangent, back tangent. So they have given this external angle as 290 degrees 36. So if you minus from 360, if you minus 290, 36 minutes, you will get this particular angle, correct? You will get this particular angle. So this angle we will be requiring later on. So you can calculate and keep it aside. Okay, so this is the problem statement. Have you understood the problem statement? We will solve this particular numerical in the next class, but make sure you have understood this particular statement. You can try it on later if you want in your home. You can try and solve it. Okay, so this particular statement, have you understood what is given in this particular statement? This 3 lines. It is confusing to understand in the initial stage. Okay, so let me read out once more. The running distance of the tangent point and the point of compound curve. Okay, point of compound curve meaning this point. Okay, first what they have mentioned tangent point. Tangent point, so it will be T1 and T2. T1, T2, and secondly what they have mentioned, point of compound curve. Point of compound curve they have mentioned second. And given that the latter meaning the later one, which is which they have given, later which one meaning the second one is which point of compound curve, right? Second, which they have mentioned in the statement. So the second is located at a point 6 plus 24 from the point of intersection. From the point of intersection, this particular point is located at a distance of 624. So that is what I have marked in blue color line. This distance is 6 plus 24 in chains. Okay, and this particular angle that they have given, this is the angle that they have given. It is 290 degrees. 290 degrees. So if you minus from 360, if you minus this 290, you will be getting this angle. Okay, you can see it is calculated over here. 69 degree 24 minutes. So this angle is 69 degree 24 minutes. Okay, so why have they given us this data? Because this data we will be requiring for calculations. Because of that only they have mentioned this particular data. Okay, so later we will check this, how to solve this. It is a bit complicated to understand in the first time. First time it is a bit complicated. You can practice at home. You will understand it clearly once you practice it. So this particular problem we will solve in the next class. Okay, so it is time. I think it is time. Time for your class is over. So I hope you have understood today's session, wherein we have learnt the last case in your compound curve. At last case, we have learnt how to set your compound curve, right? Setting out of a compound curve we have learnt. Also, we have solved one numerical, right? That first numerical is very important in your exam. Usually, this kind of numerical will be asked. The first numerical 2.1, which you have solved, right? That kind of numerical will usually be asked in your exam. So make sure you be very clear with the first numerical. If you have not understood any of this, any of the steps in the first numerical, you can ask in the next class. Okay, right? You can type your attendance, and you are free to leave the session if you are done with typing the attendance. Make sure everyone type in your attendance. Do not go without typing your attendance. You will lose your attendance. Everyone, please type in your attendance. Has everyone given their attendance? Can we stop the class here? Everyone give your attendance.